Hey guys, hope you're doing well. I hope life is treating you nice. I just want to ask you to please subscribe and please share the video. Sharing allows like-minded people to get the same information, so that's why sharing is important. Please share this video. In this video, I gotta say something about this. I actually think the African Americans, the African diaspora that's gone to the Gambia, I think they might be in danger. And it's not to blame anyone. I think this would be like self-inflicted. The problem I've noticed, just us black people all over the world, we like to play checkers instead of playing chess. Chess is the long game, man. You gotta see what's gonna happen 5, 10, 15, forever years from now. That's why the Willie Lynch letter still resonates today, because those guys play chess. 300 years later, it still makes sense. You can still feel the impact of the Willie Lynch letter, whether it existed or not, whether it's real or not. But whatever is written that letter, you can still feel it today. For a lot of people in America, that's because our friends play chess. Why do I think? And these are just my thoughts. Don't say there's militias or anything like that. But knowing how Africa works, having born and lived in Africa, what I'm seeing, and it's so disappointing to me, is that a lot of returnees, a lot of African Americans, except maybe for the Bag family and more. There's a guy in the Gambia who has a restaurant, and the Bag family obviously have a farm, and they employ a few people. I like the Bag family, but I personally believe maybe the land they got is not very good for agriculture, but any land is better than no land. So hopefully, wishing them all the best. Hopefully everything goes well. So this is what I'm noticing is happening in the Gambia, right? And I was just puzzled by this when I heard when I was watching a Black Seed Juliet, who I also like. But what's starting, the way I'm starting to see, when you look at the situation and the pattern I'm starting to notice is like there's a lot of people going there, people buying up land, and you have to realize Gambia's, I don't know which one is the smallest country in Africa, either Gambia or Djibouti, one of the two, but Gambia will be one of the smallest countries in Africa. It's very small. If I'm doing 100 kilometers an hour, it would take me about half an hour to get from one end to the other end of the Gambia. So it's a very small place. One thing I'm noticing is that people are buying land. They're buying land, but they are not going there starting up businesses. They're not going there starting up businesses that are going to benefit the locals. So what's going to happen is you are just creating a place where the gap between the rich and the poor is going to be wide. Because when you go back with your European money or American money or diaspora money, if I can put it like that, you build your house, you put up your high fences and, to keep away the dirt, to keep away the poor, your high fences and barbed wires and all that stuff. That is not going to change how the Gambia, it's actually going to make it worse. And this is what people don't realize, that robberies and crime only goes up in places where the gap between the rich and the poor is high. When everyone is rich, there's less crime. When everyone is poor, there's less crime. It's only in areas where the gap is high. That's why you see like South Africa, which I like, but might have a higher crime rate because the gap between the rich and the poor is very high. So this is what I'm saying is going to happen in the Gambia. All these returnees that are going there, they got money. They're going to build their nice houses, big houses. And the problem is, most of these people are buying up plots to build houses. Very few have, except for the Back family, and correct me if I'm wrong, maybe there's other groups there that are buying up land to start farming. Farming creates a lot of jobs. No one is doing that. People are actually, like I saw this woman buy 12 plots from Juliet. 12 plots, one person. What? Isn't that the problem they're having in South Africa? Where one white person owns more land than 1 million black people? Isn't that the same problem they have in Kenya? Same problem? Where white people own up more land than the local people. So you are just trying to create the same thing. If it was farmland, because farmland you're gonna create jobs. But if it's just you to put up your big mansions and blah blah blah, that ain't cool, man. That is not good at all. And what's gonna happen is crime rate will go up. And one time when the Gambians wake up, when they realize that they got no land to buy, you know what's gonna happen? They're gonna start burning stuff. People go nuts. You see what they're doing to the Chinese right now? And the Chinese created work, created jobs, but they got greedy, and people wake up to it, and they're removing all the pipes and destroying the factories that the Chinese set up, because the Chinese got greedy. They didn't care about the environment. They didn't care about the people. And that's the same pattern I'm noticing with the repatriates that are going to the Gambia. It's like everyone is going there, buying up all these land and putting up their mansions and putting up long, huge wall fence and barbed wires and all that stuff. Right? That's not the point. Black people, we have to start thinking about creating jobs. It's the same problem. I see this problem everywhere. I see it here in Australia. I see it in America. The reason why other people don't complain so much about employment, it's because they create jobs. I've seen it. Indians come here, they're buying up land, pizza shop, and they employ all Indians. They buy up this, they start a car wash, and they employ all Indians. It's the only way to stop complaining about, they are not employing us, or it's all racism, and whatever. It's about jobs. What I found actually, what frustrates me is that when what you guys call slave trade, in my point of view, there was no slave trade. It was an act of war. And I'm gonna do more videos about this, so that these days I'm a little bit busy. It was an act of war, and what they did is they stole all the people that had the skills. And this is the thing: 500 years ago, African had the skills. Why do you think they took I think it was the Mende, to go to Louisiana and start growing rice? Because those guys were growing rice. Where do you think jollof comes from? It's from Senegal. Because those guys have been growing rice since the beginning of time. They've been growing rice. They're farmers. But today, I'm pretty sure even Senegal is importing rice. Because what 500 years of colonialism and slavery has done, we forgot. We don't have the skills anymore. When you have I've seen Asians come here from Vietnam who can't even speak English. They just need land. They start growing their bok choy, choy sam, pork. Whatever choy that they grow. And guess what? They make money, and they start buying mansions, and they're creating employment for their people. It's a skill. We have to have the skills. Most diaspora outside in the West, the skills they have are nursing, because they go there and try to find something that's where the government gonna employ them. So nursing, you are employable, and that's the skill we have. But when you want to come to Africa, nurses don't get paid as much. So in the end, you end up getting stuck there. But my point here is, we need to have the right skills. Asians just got given, they got roughed up a little bit for the past few weeks or past few months. And guess what? American government has already responded. They're going to invest $50 million in, I don't know, whatever they're going to invest that into. But hey, you see, that's because Asians own mines. Who do you think owns Coinbase? Asian American. You know, they own their businesses and they're paying taxes. So you become a valuable a citizen. You know, most of our brothers and sisters are looking for work. That's the problem. That's the problem I have. I know this woman here in Australia, she didn't look for work. She said work, stuff that. You know what she does? She goes around and collects firewood. Firewood. I tell you what, with winter coming, you go to a house, cars line up. White people try to buy firewood from her. They ain't been racist. She puts it nicely, and she's very generous with the firewood. That woman, she's probably making $1,000 a day in winter. Easy, $1,000 a day. It's about $50 a load, like a little load. You know, people line up. No one is trying to be racist to her. She's providing something they want. She makes money, she takes the money. In that transaction, only the color of money matters. You know, the way we're gonna fight racism is to start creating employment, and you have to develop the skills. So, if people going to the Gambia, if right now they had skills in IT, data analyst and creating up website and all those things, and you go there and you start teaching the Gambians how to do these things, because knowing things about just IT, you can create a lot of things in the Gambia which will benefit them, because they'll be getting money in currencies, in Western currencies. You know, you can create so many things. You can start creating apps, start creating all sorts of things, and companies will start coming there. But I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is just your typical African way of doing things. People buy houses, so the Gambia is not going to change. You know, people got all these diasporas who go there, and the Gambia won't change, because I haven't even seen them come together and try to create something. You know, we can't develop with that kind of mindset. We need to start thinking about creating jobs. That's just one thing. If you go there, think of a way to clean up the environment. It's not where you're gonna make money straight away, but it's something where you can invest money for the long run. Because you have to teach people, and people have to realize the importance of that. And it's gonna take a long time. But when people come together, you can start doing these things. You know, farming, the Gambia can be producing all sorts of produce. You know, you can go from the Gambia to, South Sudan, where they're importing almost 90% of things. So, you know, there's a market to sell your products. Just within Africa. So all I'm going to say is that if the people that are moving to the Gambia don't involve the local people by providing employment, you are in danger. Because when people realize that, all you guys are doing is live in your mansions while they suffer, what do you think they're going to do? Because things in Africa can change in seconds, man. Everyone just goes crazy. Especially with things like this, people go crazy. They start burning things down. So you're putting yourselves in danger because you are more focused for the now. You have to realize that 500 years of separation has made you and them be in different places economically. But we can bring that together and create something which is going to benefit both groups. So let's figure out a way to do business for people who are moving there. Big ups to the Bag family. They've employed a few people. More was also doing business. I think there's another lady that opened up another business. But let's find something that we can use from the land, from the Gambian land. Clay, whatever. All things like that. Where you can start producing these products that can create jobs. You know, if you go there, if 1,000, let's say if 100 diasporans move to the Gambia, let's expect that they're going to create 10,000 jobs for the Gambians. You know, that way there will be no tensions. But if you're just going to go there and increase the wealth gap, you're putting yourselves in danger. So please, let's think job creation, job creation, job creation. Thank you. And have a wonderful day. And please share the video and subscribe.